Okay, we've got a customer who's traveling through and he's been having some problems with exhaust gas temperatures. This is a Ford truck that has a 2003 common rail swapped in it, and it's got a BD set of towing twins, which is like a 58 millimeter on top and a 66 on the bottom. He's going back to stock injectors to try to keep exhaust gas temperatures in check, and it's still getting hot. So we're going to pull the intake off, check it for boost leaks, and we'll probably pull the edge off of it and put a custom tune in it via HP tuners. But he delivers, he's got a high performance boat company, and he gets to drive all over the country hauling boats. So hopefully we can get him fixed up and make the truck a little bit more reliable for EGTs on towing, where he doesn't have to watch the exhaust gas temperatures as much in the hills. So basically he's just looking to be able to maintain speed on the hills. Yeah, look at that. Can you come up here?
Oh yeah.
Piece of O-ring missing, so see if we can get a new O-ring in there and maybe we can get that fixed up. Okay, well, we found a significant amount of boost leaks on the truck. There was about 3 different clamps and boots that had a little bit of a leak in it, and the one V-band coming off of the manifold charger had about a 1-inch rip in the O-ring. So we were fixing that up, and we're also going to take the Edge CTS monitor off of it, and we're going to install HP tuners, just do a custom calibration. He's about 30 to 35,000 pounds most of the time when he tows, and he's just looking for EGT control. So we're hoping with the combination of the boost leaks, and we're adding some power via HP tuners, we're going to be able to get him a tow rig that's going to treat him nice for hauling these boats across the country.
This is Mike Gerber's 2012 68 RFE truck. We just installed a 68 this week on it, and he wanted to see what kind of power we could make after installing some tunes. So we will throw a max effort tune in it and see what kind of power we can make. Alright, we got Mike's truck all wrapped up. We were able to squeeze 503 horsepower out of it on a max effort tune, which is really good for a 10 to 12 truck. Normally they will do closer to 470, 480 range. So I was happy to see 500 out of it. And then we did 383 horsepower on the minimum tune, and then the other tunes are spread out in between there. So I'll get them off the dyno and send them on the way. This is Chris Guffey's 2007 6.7 truck, G56. He has a stainless 465 second gen swap on it, stock injectors, and upgraded CP3. He's been having some issues with it defueling at high RPMs, so we're gonna take a few data logs, see if we can't figure out what's going on with it. So as you saw in the video, the truck cut out. Looking at the data log, looks like the map sensor goes from 37 psi, which is the max boost that the factory sensor can read. It goes from 37 psi to 0. When that happens, pulse width, rail, everything else follows. So we are looking at the map sensor, gonna look at some wiring, probably end up throwing a new sensor in it just for diagnosing purposes. So I'll do that stuff and then run it again and see if we fixed it. Chris's truck figured out. It was a map sensor. He had replaced it with a, I forget, was it a Napa or a Riley map sensor? And we put a OEM Cummins map sensor in it, and after 7 or 8 dyno pulls, the problem never came back. So I feel confident that we fixed it, that it was the map sensor. While we were here, you saw what max effort tune it made, or what max effort power it made, which was 577 horsepower. And then on tune 1 it made 428 horsepower. He's gonna go drive it for a while now that the truck isn't cutting in and out all the time, and hopefully he's gonna enjoy his newfound power.
Alright, we're finally getting the S10 back together from when we tore it apart at Virginia. We had some transmission problems there. We had really good luck with the transmission last year, and now this year that we're pushing things a little harder, we've been tearing some things up, so we went back to the drawing board and are trying a few different things. We really need to try to get away from some of the high torque that the diesel likes, which is also what makes the truck go fast sometimes, so kind of have to balance between going fast and being smart about it. But we ended up changing up the gear ratio in the transmission. The old gear set that we had was a 211 reduction in first gear and a 140 reduction in second gear, and then third gear was a 1-to-1, and we ended up going to a 160, 131, 1-to-1 gear ratio. So pretty much it's giving us a taller first gear, which the truck actually should seem to like. We're a little bit plenty violent on the launch, so we're hoping that we don't have too steep of a learning curve, you know, refiguring out how to launch the truck and everything. It shouldn't be too bad. In Virginia, when we had the broken transmission, we ended up launching it in second the one time, and it took that just fine. And that's, you know, second gear was a 140 gear ratio, which is even taller than the 160 that we have now for our first gear. So we don't expect that to be a problem. And then the thing that does for us is it makes our RPM drops in the shift a lot shorter. So we shouldn't pull the truck down into the torque near as much, and hopefully be able to save some parts that way. So that, and then changing up the shift schedule a little bit and doing lockup different from what we have been. Going to give that a shot, and hopefully things stay together for us and we can keep pushing this truck forward. So what I'm doing right now is I'm adjusting the shift linkage. Every time that we pull the transmission out, we have to make sure that the linkage is adjusted right. If it's not adjusted quite right, the air shifter will jam in second gear if the linkage isn't lined up perfectly for it to jam up. So pretty much I just adjust the linkage. Then I have a button up here that I can test fire the solenoid. So 1, 2, 2, 3 seems just fine. So I'll go through and fire that 3 or 4 times to make sure I don't have any issues, and should be good to go.
Alright, this is Charlie Jones' 2003 automatic truck. We did a head gasket on it, and he also wanted an HP tune put in it. He wanted a max effort tune. He's got a set of 364 480 compounds, 100% extra G injectors, and dual CP3s. So I'll flash tune in it and see what kind of power we can make. We were able to squeeze 841 horsepower out of Charlie's truck. From the looks of the data log, it just seems like he's out of air. The more fuel that we added, it really wouldn't pick up any more power, which normally means that he's out of air. So 841 horsepower, that's still a good number, and I'll get him off the dyno and send him on the way.
Okay, we just got the truck back from Performance Auto Spa yesterday. They had the truck for a couple days, and they did paint protection. We did the Expel paint protection film. We did it on the front clip, and then we also did it on the extended rockers on the bottom. And then they also pulled the Ram and Cummins badges off the side. They pulled the door moldings off the side, and they pulled the limited 4x4 badge off the tailgate. I've got, you see the badge is still missing here. I've got the the hood badge in it paint to get paint matched, along with the upper and lower grill piece is still at paint to get paint matched, so we should get a pretty nice blackout effect. But I wanted to show you guys a little bit what the ceramic coat really does. After they did the expel, they did paint protection, or they did paint correction, and then they did ceramic coat. And the ceramic coat they used is Jax Wax. Jax Wax is teamed up with Team Firepunk. They wanted to help out with some sponsorship on the race team, and they've been helping us out with showing us some products for our personal vehicles. So told them we'll use the ceramic coat on here. It's a 4-year product, and I had to drive the truck to work this morning in the rain, and the truck still looks great because it sheds the water off. The water doesn't stick nearly as well, and so it doesn't cling to all the dirt that's on the rain. So I'm gonna have you guys see what the truck looks like. I drove the thing probably 10 miles in the rain this morning, and generally if you got wide tires and you drive a black truck in the rain, it looks terrible. So still looks great. Very happy with the results, and a big shout out to the guys at Performance Auto Spa for doing a bang up job on everything they've done. They did a lot of hard work, and thanks to Jax Wax for providing the ceramic coat. This is the ceramic coat, their shield product, and I'm really happy with the results. So I'll keep you guys informed. Like, we'll do an update in a year from now and see how this coating's holding up, but day one I'm very impressed. This is the partial front that they did the paint protection film on, and you can just see a very, very faint line. From the backside looking forward, if you look at it, you can see a little bit of a line, but from the front looking back, you absolutely can't tell, and even from the side. It is very opaque, barely even noticeable. I'm not a fan of being able to see lines. I was going to have them do the whole front clip, but then after I saw a couple vehicles with partials on it, you don't even notice it, and it saves me. It's about $1,100 to do a front clip like this, whereas it's $1,600 to do the whole front clip. So it saves me some money, and it gives me the protection I need from rock chips when we're driving on the road, towing trailers, and we got road grime throwing up. It keeps the paint from getting ate up. For sure on a black truck, you see all those chips really good. So this should offer the protection I need for, a 5-year plan. I should be able to come back and this paint still be in great condition. On the tailgate, I had to remove the limited and the 4x4 logos, and we also pulled the chrome Ram badge off. This is indented in the tailgate, so you can't just debadge it. So I ordered a new badge from Mopar that is a paintable version, and that's at the paint shop as well. So I'm going to paint that body color, and we're going to get a black Ram logo on the back. It just really cleans up the back. I've got the tail lights at paint. They're doing just a light tint film on it to try to smoke out the tail light a little bit, or just darkening everything up. And while it was at Performance Auto Spa, they also did a 5% tint on the rear window. So I've got OEM tint on the back 2 doors. I did 20% on the front 2 windows to match the rear windows, and I did 5% on the rear. It gives the overall cabin a darker look, but I don't have to worry about not seeing when backing up at night, because 20% is not too bad. It's a lot more reasonable than what I got on the quad cab. The quad cab I got 5% all the way around and 20% on the windshield, and it is a hair bit dark when it's dark and rainy. So this truck, I like the way it looks. Just darken everything up. We're still going to have some chrome accents with the wheels and the chrome trim below the windows, and I still have to address the mirrors. It's got the chrome mirrors that I would like to get painted black at some point, but it's a little more involved with all the stuff that's going on in the mirrors. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to go about getting those taken apart and getting them painted. Talked about maybe doing a vinyl wrap on them, but we will see. We're going to kind of take that as step 2 to get the mirrors done. One other thing that Performance Auto Spa did when they had it is they removed the first dent that the truck got. I let one of my sisters drive it one time. I'm not going to tell you which one it was, but she had it hooked to the apparel trailer, gone to Virginia, and coming out of the hotel room on the way out there, she thought she was hitting the remote start, and instead she hit the button for the tailgate drop, which dropped the tailgate right on the jack, and it made a very nice little dent right here. Lucky it didn't scratch anything, but it made a nice dent. They used their paintless dent removal and pulled it right out, and you literally could not tell that it's there anymore. So Performance Auto Spa here in Plain City is kind of a one-stop shop if you are local. They can get you all kinds of services to protect your paint, fix your paint, and get it fixed up. So big shout out to them for getting this straightened out. I know it's a little dent, but when it's a new truck, it's kind of a big deal. So we're glad they get that fixed up.